Okay, so in light of a plan that now has been laid out, before you enact this, would any of you like to do to gather intel?
100%. I am. Since we're going with a transport option, I do want to hit up Celia, my information broker, with a consort to try and see if she's able to get a little bit of information about the exact path they're going to take, just so we know 100% the route.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to be doing consort here, since she is a friend. Okay, ignoring that, and I have a 1 die bonus because of weaving the web.
Yeah. Oh. Okay, so they are going. They're going to Night Market, giving you quite a long distance, right down from Brightstone. They'll be heading south through Charter Hall, and then south again into Night Market, whereupon they will take a westerly direction.
All right. Gabriel, of course, basically charts on his own map the path they're going to be taking to be able to share with the group.
Absolutely, they are sticking to the main roads, busy thoroughfares, and this is not the average carriage either. It's a specially converted armored thing, because obviously what it's carrying is of high value.
All right.
Anyone else?
Yeah, is there, can I walk that route and just, get a feel, a vibe check once more, like, points where we may intercept?
Absolutely, make me a check.
All right, I think that's a study or a survey.
Survey is the more likely one. Studies kind of books and so it depends. Like you could use either, and the study you just use maps instead of the actual location.
Fair. Okay, survey it is. Oops.
Okay, the best point is a blue coat checkpoint. The road, it's right as you enter Night Market, and right at the kind of the lip, the sort of the as you're heading onto let's have a look. Just as you're heading onto the rail bridge, which is the way they'll be coming in, which is the furthest western bridge in Night Market. It's on the south. It's on the south end of that bridge as you go into the district. There is but everything is being funneled through that particular kind of junction point.
Well, that's just rude.
Mm-hmm.
Lottie, would you like to gather intel anywhere?
Yes. Maybe about who will protect the carriage.
Absolutely. So maybe a check.
It's survey as well.
That will work, yeah.
Oh, maybe I can use hunt.
Again, yeah, that also works. Oh, okay. So the other than the carriage driver, it's protected by there's two other figures on there. One of which is part of Armand's personal muscle and one of his kind of gang members. The other one is a armed guard, which is provided for by the Blue Coat Gallery, Brightstone Gallery, and is one of their kind of security detail. The carriage itself, as well, is horse-drawn as opposed to the usual goat-drawn. So it's a little bit nippier than usual. It's good at long. It can pick up speed on the long straights. Not so good on the cornering. The horses aren't quite as sure-footed as goats on those tight corners. So, the first question is, what's everyone's load? Hestia.
Ooh, normal.
And Lottie?
Normal for me too.
And Gabriel?
Light.
Great stuff. Okay, and now those questions. So, Brightstone does start at a -1. So it depends. Where would you like to go? Where would you like to intercept this thing?
All right, so actually, let me get this started off with, I want to initiate a flashback.
Go on.
All right, so there was a situation the last time we had to deal with the blue coats, where some jokes had been made about fitting Gabriel into a blue coat outfit. However, now that Gabriel has had some time to do this, I want him to have a blue coat outfit ready, already, made to actually fit him. And he's actually going to be at that checkpoint with...
So he's going for night markets.
With the fine cover identity papers. So he is
great
actually...
stuff. You've got a brass badge that...
Yes. So I'm actually there already undercover.
Okay.
And of course, it's easy enough for Hestia and Lottie to tell who Gabriel is, so they have no question. Yep.
Okay, I will say, would you like... I'll say 1 stress and make me a roll, or 2 stress and you can have it done.
2 stress.
Okay. So, with pulling on the all too familiar blue coat this time, a little bit more fitted to a man of your girth.
Mm-hmm.
Going for the night market checkpoint.
Yes.
Great stuff. Okay, so is this plan particularly bold or daring?
Right, definitely.
Yeah, sounds like.
you argue a case for that?
I am impersonating an officer of the law. Like, that is
At a blue coat checkpoint.
That is pretty bold.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I will take that. Yeah. All right then. Does this plan exploit a vulnerability or hit your target where they're weakest?
I don't think so. Unless they're not going to see it coming.
This thing has been made to pretty much the carriage itself has been pretty much made to withstand this kind of attempt. So it's cautious rather than overtly aware of you. So I'd say those two kind of cancel out. There's no negative modifier, but there's no positive one either. Can any of your friends or allies provide assistance?
I mean, technically mine provided assistance already, because she got us the route. If you want to count that. I have a city
clerk friend. Oh. I have a city clerk friend, Petra. Is it possible that we could get some sort of like, I don't know, parade or a way to close a street temporarily? Or at least halt the carriage long enough to have Gabriel...
Okay, so I will give you that one. And what I'll say is that usually this kind of transport is waved through. It's kind of cleared already. That paperwork to have it waved through is going to go missing, so it will have to stop at the checkpoint like everyone else. So that. And are there any other factors you would like to consider?
I used weaving the web, so +1.
+1. Oh, great stuff. Okay, now let me see if there's anything from their side, which is... They are also to...
I would also like to say, if there's anything regarding blue coats, it should probably be lessened since I'm a blue coat in this situation.
Absolutely. I'm just going through. Okay, this Hestia. This is something of a personal challenge for you. The lock on the carriage itself is a frake.
Uh-oh. All right. I love it. Do I know that in advance, or will it come up?
Not in character. It's
okay. Cool.
Yeah, but one look at that, you know it to be a very, very well engineered lock. It's picking it as the holy grail of any lurk. So that gives you 3 die. Here we go. Okay, risky position. As you take your position in the at the checkpoint, there's a bell tolls out for 8 hour or 2 p.m. And there is a changeover with the bluecoats as Gabriel, you make your way out to join the checkpoint. The rain fog fills the air. You find yourself pulling the collar up against the elements. A lot of this is procedural. You go through the motions as various traders make their way through. Some of them with hand push carts, others with more rickshaw type bicycle with a little trailer sort of set up on the back to to transport wares. Other people are just making the footfall is just a case of kind of going through people, checking their various bags, and sometimes you kind of get somebody who looks a little bit suspicious. But at this moment, you're just looking to
keep appearances.
Keep appearances up. Lottie and Hestia, where are you in this? So going over the bridge. There is an elevated train line. There is, and then leading onto Great Owl Road, there are the buildings either side of the streets. Fairly old, recently restored. Now homes. These used to be the old homes of several of the guild workers in the district in the region of Night Market called Guild Hall. This is where all the practicing guilds, that pretty much the hands that built Dusk used to call this place home.
Is there a food shop, any sort of like diner near that checkpoint?
Make me a check.
What kind would you like?
Well, up to you. It's probably something like survey. That's probably going to be your.
All right.
And control position as well at this point.
Oh, fun.
This is all. It's all converted to housing. Several of the houses do have overlooking balconies, but food and kind of restaurant region is much further into the actual district itself, sitting around to the east in Eventide.
All right. Yeah, then Hestia is just going to window shop, I guess, around the labor district, or the fabricator the word district.
So it's all housing now, but it was originally like the guilds. You all kind of set up shop here. It's now homes, but there's a couple of stores that you can kind of at least occupy yourself in. And Lottie, where are you?
I'd say I'm hidden in a corner, my rifle ready, in case I'm needed, and then I stay in the shadows and ready to act.
Great stuff. I'll say, make me a roll from this will be a control position. Just see sort of what kind of vantage point you have.
Survey, can it work?
Survey works, yeah, for sure. Oh, nicely done. You're able to find a one of these balconies. Looking up, you're able to see that the building itself behind it, very, very kind of elaborate apartment type complex building, is completely dark. So essentially going up and making your way in, you manage to find an unoccupied apartment. However, there are several people coming and going in the building itself who you do have to pass by. And I am starting a clock for Bluecoats alerted.
Actually, on that note,
yes.
Does that get back to Gabriel, because he is masquerading as a Bluecoat right now? Does he get any sort of like notification that?
Oh, let's do a fortune roll.
Yeah. Because it might be something that might get reported back since it's so close to this checkpoint.
Why is it saying notes? I don't need notes.
There you go.
Yes, but it's so yes, you do hear about this. However, it's you do notice a couple of them, a couple of the bluecoats you're with actually start paying a little bit more attention to that building.
Of course, I would assume I would know where everybody is, just, to make sure things go as smoothly as possible. So, I mean, unfortunately, I probably don't have a way to get word to Lottie, so unfortunately, Gabriel's kind of just got to grit his teeth here, I would think.
You're stationed there for, you hear it ring, ninth hour, and it's probably about 20 minutes after that you see a vehicle kind of begin to sort of make its way, almost very obnoxiously, taking up various much more space than it has any right to on the roadway. A horse-drawn carriage with this big metal iron-plated carriage behind it.
Speaking of that, actually, how many other bluecoats are with me at this time? I feel like I should have asked that sooner.
There is the sergeant who is running the checkpoint.
Okay.
And at this point there are now 3 bluecoats on the checkpoint, and the other 2 have sort of made their way into that main street, and they're now standing, each of them stood on the corners of Great Owl Street. Both of them kind of keeping eyes on that building that they've been kind of giving the heads up about.
Okay, so that was 3 essentially outside of myself. So this is a 4-person checkpoint. Okay.
4, so 4 including the sergeant.
Does that include me?
No.
Okay,
so 3 bluecoats, sergeant, yourself.
Okay. All right, so Gabriel's kind of gonna take his position in front and, raise up his hand for, the carriage to stop.
With the engagement roll, it is forced to, and you hear the objections of both the carriage driver and the 2 muscle heavies that are guarding it. Oh, we shouldn't have to do this. We should just go straight through. Why?
I'm assuming there's like some sort of list that Gabriel has, and he kind of looks down at the list and he kind of shrugs. Not on the list. We gotta check.
They should also have. Well, it's he takes out a manifest. It's locked up. We don't open it. But
I shoot a glance over to the sergeant, that kind of glance that you would expect somebody to go like, what do we do, boss? That sounds weird to me. That kind of look.
The sergeant, it seems like he's the sergeant's been there all day. He's been there since first hour, or 6 a.m. He could not care less. It's see that just.
So Gabriel does take the manifest and he's kind of looking over it. You mentioned it was raining as well.
Yeah.
How heavily is it raining? Like, is there enough for puddles?
There's Dospel is under a perpetual rain cloud, except during the winter months when it's snow, like the heavy driving snow, not the fun kind. Meanwhile, while you go through this, we will jump over to Hestia.
Hestia sort of nonchalantly starts walking towards the checkpoint, trying to be inconspicuous, but she definitely walks with purpose. And slinking in the shadows, hiding between buildings, but casually.
Are you crossing the checkpoint, or?
Does that go through the checkpoint itself, or is there like a sidewalk that bypasses this?
The checkpoint itself kind of takes up the roadway. So there's a blue coat who is doing pedestrian checks.
All right. Yeah, I guess then yes, I do cross that that checkpoint.
Okay, that is going to take a roll.
All right. Let's see. Is that a? Ooh. Is that a sway with to seem nonchalant, or is that a prowl? Let's see.
Both work.
All right. I'll roll prowl, and make small talk. Talk about the wonderful weather we're having, sarcastically.
Yeah.
And I assume risky standard.
Risky, yeah.
That's not bad.
Success with the complication. Now, obviously, you can resist this, as he. It will mean he finds. He does. There's a point, sort of just on the pat down. There's a moment of taking out a couple of objects and planning something. And I'd like you to go to light load, please.
Oh, fantastic! Will do. Terrifying.
He throws the items down on the table. Obviously, what they are is irrelevant at this point. Is stay out of trouble. Next. But you are through.
Fantastic. Yeah, I think she just holds steady and waits for Gabriel. She kind of keeps an eye on him as she takes a lackadaisical stroll past that checkpoint.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, Hestia, from your vantage point, you've got eyes on all of this as it goes on. You see this, Lottie. Sorry, you have eyes on all of this. You see Hestia make her way through the checkpoint, as you see Gabriel buying time as he kind of goes through the manifest. Go on. Yeah. I'm going to say okay. Do you want to make me a check on that, or you can do a fortune roll to see what kind of reaction they have? Oh, absolutely, yes. Yeah. Absolutely. So it's 2 stress. Okay, what can I offer you? Don't worry. So, on that, the carriage, that will start a 4-piece clock for basically the carriage driver has enough and just moves on. As you pick up this thing and it is just... It limp doesn't really describe it. It's like... and you just hear this aggravated... from the driver. As he pulls back on the reins, like stopping, the horses now getting a little bit impatient themselves, sort of stamping a little bit, and you see one of them, 2 horses, one of them is now braying a little bit. Oh, just jump. Oh. He hands in his pockets. The sergeant makes his way over and looks at the tiny kind of like slits. Kind of puts his eyes right up. He can't see anything into the carriage. It's dark. Fine. Fill your boots. So he kind of turns back and waves through another carriage coming the other way. This one's just a sort of regular cabbie. Hestia. Is there anything you would like to do in this?
Yeah, can I create an opening maybe to well, I don't know. Are we going to take this carriage at the checkpoint?
Make it up as you go along.
Alright,
it's Indiana Jones all over.
Yeah. Is there a way I can hop on that incoming taxi and transfer over to like behind this armored carriage unseen?
Oh yes, absolutely. Make me a check. And Lottie, yes. What would you like to do in this moment?
I'm gonna go ahead and push myself.
Sure. So take 2 stress.
All right. And I'd like effect, I think, just in case.
Okay, no problem. So that is pushing you up to greater effects.
I'm wincing in anticipation.
Ooh. Lottie, is there anything you'd like to do?
I'm gonna wait for Gabriel's signal and aim for the driver. We need to replace him and go.
Oh. Okay. So I will say, if you want, you can take a roll there to set yourself up, and then when your next check, you will have a +1 if you're shooting. Yeah, as the carriage as the carriage of the cabby goes past, you're able to jump onto the back where there's the luggage rack. It's just and just kind of hang on the back for a brief moment, and then very, very deftly flatten yourself against the opposite side of the carriage itself. There's this moment where line of sight is crossed off between the two.
Excellent. All right. Is there a door back here? And
Yes, the door is on the back of the carriage itself.
Okay.
Big armored thing. This is the thing with the brake lock.
Oh, ooh. There's definitely this moment where Hestia grumbles to herself. and just she gathers herself and is just she takes a moment to just sort of like psych herself up and gets ready to pick this lock as fast as possible.
Okay, Gabriel, you're up. Absolutely. So there is another door. There's two doors. There's one on the side where you're making your way down now. You know Hestia is working the back. All part of the plan. Okay, I'm going to say you can set up Hestia on this roll. So you make a roll, basically to divert attention onto yourself. Gives Hestia a +1 on the next check. Because it's social influence, you could go with sway or consort. Yes. Yeah. Fingers crossed. Oh. Nice. Yeah, you make a very distinct show of like rattling the door as much as you can, which just and then sort of hitting around it. There's just this metallic clang that echoes out. Several of the bluecoats do look over to you with a sudden emergence of noise, but their attention is quickly taken back by their current occupation. There's no immediate threat. It's just that sudden setup. Hestia.
Could I take a devil's bargain on this for an extra die?
This is a yes. However, you know what these locks are like. The lockpick will snap. You'll lose your lockpicks for the rest of the set, the score, and it will be +1 heat when that gets found.
I'm gonna decline. I'm so sorry. All right.
I apologize. No, that's the part of devil's bargain, is you can turn them down.
All right. So that's a finesse roll. I do have fine lockpicks.
Or proud. Both work.
Okay. Same hat, I think.
Okay.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna do a finesse, and then does fine give me an extra die or improve?
No, it improves tier, so you're good against this one. So
fantastic. I'm gonna push myself once more.
Okay.
And I think for the extra die. Die.
2 because you've been set up as there's this banging on the side.
Okay, and I'm gonna do greater effect.
Okay.
All right, 3 dice, greater effect. Thank you, Uncle. Hey!
Oh. Eat it, Frank.
That's a 6.
It requires, the lock itself requires 3 sort of prongs and turns. You actually have to sort of use your mouth at one point as this kind of. It's an absolute masterpiece, but the door is open.
Oh, fantastic. I'm gonna slink inside and if I close it, will it lock again?
It's been set up so that the lock is from the outside. If it's locked from the inside, it's just a little catch for this
Okay.
very instance.
Do I know how long until they reach their destination inside here?
They need to get to slightly sort of. They're coming back around and then heading west. So they're going south, and then there's two streets: Bell Street, and then north up Incense Alley, which will lead them outside Dupree's house.
Okay. I'm gonna shut the door behind me. But before doing that, I'm gonna give like a thumbs up to Lottie, and a big smile to Gabriel from inside the armored car.
Suddenly, he's sort of just in like one of those slits. You just see this grin kind of emerge from the other side. Lottie, is there anything you'd like to do at this point?
Prepare to follow the carriage to the checkpoint. If everything continues to go smoothly.
So, it's up to you. Like I say, you kind of plan retroactively. So, whatever you do at this point, likely part of the plan. Seeing this has gone relatively smoothly. You've got options. If you want, you could just take a shot randomly and get that distraction of if a gunshot goes off, that's going to have the blue coats over it.
Yeah, not doing that yet.
Not yet. Gabriel.
Yeah.
With Lottie inside, what would you like to do?
Seeing that she's inside, that was mainly what Gabriel needed to see. That was what he was looking for. He was making sure that, or with Hestia inside, sorry.
Hestia, sorry, yes.
With her inside, that was what Gabriel needed to see. That's what he was trying to check, so he's actually gonna kind of just wipe his nose, take a step back, and be like, we don't have time for this, and nor do you. And he kind of says that to the driver. And without, I guess, any further ado, he kind of gives that signal of get them the hell out of here.
Okay. Moving forward, you're aware of a lurch as the carriage takes off once again and begins to make its way forward. And at the moment, it's empty, but there's a 6-piece clock for arriving back at Armand Dupree's house. Inside the carriage, absolutely, it's dark, but you do have these occasional kind of moments of light where you go past an electroplasmic lamp, and the light kind of illuminates just the sliver of light that manages to get in through those slits, those horizontal slits that.
All right. So is like the painting is just like hanging out right here, or is it behind a secondary lock?
There's several things in here. Usually these things are secure enough for safety. You can see that there is a very it's sort of been chained down. There's like this elegant bust of which is everything has been wrapped in muslin cloth. And to kind of keep it protected on the journey, but you can just about make out the features, the nose and the and the plinth that it stands on. There's a couple of other paintings. However, there is the sort of 3 foot by 3 foot square block, which Riders of the Cataclysm is secured away, and it's been, like say, bound up with this muslin cloth.
Okay. Oof. Is it big enough to, or is it wieldy enough that I can, I can hold it easily, or do I need to do something about it before?
Oh, no, it's a 2-hand sort of operation.
Okay.
Also, would anyone like to call a flashback for a forgery?
You really don't want Gabriel doing it, but he'll do it. You know what? I'll take the stress.
Take that.
Tinker, let's do this.
Do it.
Tinker, let's do this.
You are trying to create a 800-year-old masterpiece on wood, oil on wood. With aging, I'm going to say whatever you roll, it's a limited effect.
Limited? Okay.
Could I have helped with that at all? Like, could it have
take one
been,
stress.
I would love to.
Yeah, take 1 stress, and you take one to the roll.
Oh, okay, so, hold up. You have... Okay, so, let's see here. Okay, it's... Now, just keep it there. It's a limited effect still.
I will say this is also a desperate action.
Okay.
You're getting Gabriel to paint.
Bonus die 1. Here we go.
Oh, success with a complication. Okay, I will give you some choices here. You can use that image, which is a blatant forgery but is funny, or you can do a legitimate job, which on inspection won't pass muster.
I mean, I realize you're trying to give me an option here to make this legitimate, but, like, Gabriel is not, like, by any stretch. So, like, I honestly, logically can't say that it's not gonna be. It's gonna be, though, the image. And for anybody that is actually on the stream, maybe, this is the image. This is our wonderful painting.
Standing back and admiring his completed handiwork.
That the painting is a Gabriel original.
It really does capture a moment, and I'll put it in chat as well for players. It's really something.
It is up on the Discord for the players.
And it's as you take out this replacement piece, Hestia, you sort of take one last look at it, and with a sigh.
Yeah. Oof. Yeah. I think the paint is still wet, just a little bit. Yeah. There's a little oil, or the water is mixed with just a little bit of water. All right. Yeah. I do my best to unwrap the original, replace it, and kind of tuck it behind other things. Yeah. Is there, by the way, is there any sort of like trinkets or pocket-sized elements in this armored car back here, or is it just
make me a check.
Okay.
100% exactly what Gabriel would have done. Is there anything I can pocket in here?
Okay, is that a survey or
that would work? Yeah.
Okay.
Or a study would also work.
Ooh. I'd like to do a survey.
Absolutely.
A risky standard, or is this a fortune?
No, this is this will be controlled.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That's a 6!
Oh, very nice. Okay, there is a collection in a box, which, opening it up, it's like a glass-topped exhibition case, but it does have Aruvian jewelry of the classical era. There is there's like these gold, very, very ornate, embellished necklaces, several rings.
Yeah, I take that.
It's more a case of opening it and.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Is it locked? Is the case locked?
No. It's like I say, it's just part of a display case. So it's everything was. They were kind of relying on the security of that Frake lock on the door.
Poor Frake.
Oh well.
Okay, I'd like to at least take enough to line my pockets, but not enough to. No, I take as much as I can.
Okay. Bearing in mind that this stuff is notably from feigned collections, moving it, you probably won't get its actual value's worth, because that would be a retirement fund. So
Right.
Yeah, you'll have to sort of make do of somebody buying it on the cheap, because they'll know exactly what it is. But it's enough that you can do all right from it. Okay,
I definitely managed. I tried to pick a couple of rings, and as a welcome to the friend group for Gabriel. I pick out the gaudiest one, and like tuck it into my front pocket, and then everything else goes into the cargo pants.
I'm sorry. I think it, and she did it. Yeah. I was like, please take one for Gabriel, at least one.
Oh, of course I would.
Yes, excellent.
As the carriage makes its way down, there is a little bit of an impasse where it waits at the junction, away from that, away from the checkpoint. So, and as it pulls forward again, Lottie, is there anything you'd like to do?
Yes. I'm going to force the carriage to stop, but not directly attack it, and just make some sort of distraction a little bit ahead, so they will have to stop and check whatever it is, so Hestia could leave.
Yes, absolutely. What would you like to do? There's a busy thoroughfare beneath you. Fair bits of footfall. In this part of town, it's all fairly safe. It's not like Crow's Foot, which is notoriously violent and gunshots are routine occurrences. But obviously, you have a whole range of options available to you. Or is there something you've previously set up?
Anything that could explode if hit by a gunshot.
Oh yes. there is a row of electroplasmic lighting, electroplasm being highly combustible.
I'm gonna go for that. And hope
So like
for
a
the
row of these. Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to say, make me a roll, desperate action, because nobody is not going to. A gunshot going out is going to be.
Can I push myself for that?
Absolutely. So you take 2 stress and take a bonus die.
Okay.
And you have your +1 from your setup earlier of.
And that's the moment where I don't remember what I have.
So for shots, you're.
Desperate effect, it's standard.
Standard effect, desperate action,
Okay.
yes.
Bonus dice, 1.
2. You set yourself up already. You push yourself and set yourself up, so you get 2.
Okay, let's go.
Oh yes, that. So mark off a dot on your. Did you roll? Was that hunt that you rolled?
Yes.
So you put a mark in your insight track for the desperate action. As there's a moment where the district falls silent as this gunshot rings out over the streets, from a balcony above. Before there's screams begin to go out and people begin to sort of scatter in the street, running across it. One of the horses, the one that was braying earlier, especially jittery, rears up and begins to buck. Rather, you feel this in the back. You feel like 2 of the carriage wheels just lift up from one side and slam down heavily on the other side. The blue coats at the checkpoint instantly, batons drawn. The sergeant draws a pepper pot style revolver, and all of them just scatter into the street, pushing past people who are just running through the checkpoint now. Lottie, you are very aware that there's these obviously not. Gabriel, are you joining in the search?
Gabriel's gonna make it look like he's going off to search, but he's using this to disappear. He's done his part, so he's out.
Gabriel, you see Gabriel make his way, and as he kind of goes down the street, rounds a corner, and just literally blue coat jacket off into the canal, and underneath, sort of brings out the pockets, begins addressing himself, and then sort of ducks down and disappears into the crowd. Hestia and Lottie, it's. We'll go back to Lottie first and foremost, who on the balcony, as this rain of fire just kind of explodes out of the lamp, just illuminates the street for a brief moment, and then begins to rain down. You can still see the smouldering, essentially where it's burning off on the fumes just on the ground. The electroplasm kind of crackles with the lightning around these flames that lick up. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna leave the balcony first, hide the rifle somewhere I can go back later, and try to go a little bit further where the carriage is to meet Hestia and help her go away, because I think we will need to transport the painting in a safe place.
Two will help, yes. One person can carry it, but it's very much a both hands deal. So, which way are you going? Are you going back through the building, or are you going to go down the out off the balcony? Are you going to go take the quick route?
No, not the quick route.
Okay.
I don't want to drag any attention, so I just going to go back and leave the normal way.
Okay, absolutely. Make me a check to, I'd say, sort of to cover all of the. It's as you are like sort of dismantling the rifle into 3 different components and stuffing it into this jar, sort of big vase in a corridor. There is a cry from the other side as 2 bluecoats enter the building, and one of them, the sergeant, takes a shot down the corridor. Would you like to resist? Would you like to take armor?
Friends yet? I'd say I'd take armor.
You can resist as well. So taking armor will downgrade. It's only enough as a shot to wing you. So armor will downgrade it to level 1. You can resist and negate the damage entirely.
I'm gonna take armor first.
Okay. So you're down to level 1 harm. So now you also have the option to resist. So you mark off armor on your playbook.
Okay.
Now, would you like to resist to negate all that damage completely?
Yes.
Okay, so you roll prowess, so everything in the left-hand column of prowess.
You can also just click
which-
prowess.
Oh yeah, that's the easy way of doing it.
Wait.
4. Nice. So you take 2 stress as the bullet, as you duck out of the way, and behind you, this window just shatters. What would you like to do? Two blue coats, and at the moment you're on the upper stories.
Option 1 didn't work, so option 2, I'm gonna jump out of the window.
Okay, absolutely.
Am I? What floor? Am I?
We're doing right. This is the problem with the transcontinental game. To those on the left of the Atlantic, it's the 2nd floor. To those on the right, it's the 1st.
Can I interject here real fast?
Yeah.
You have access to my fine climbing gear.
You can take a 1 load item of stash for free from any other playbook as part of the crew ability. So that is an item you can take. Your climbing gear is
it's light.
Yeah. Yes, because your climbing gear is 2. Hestia's is 1. So. So you can go out the window, literally grappling hook, and just slide down, which is.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Yes.
Seems a little
absolutely
bit more sensible than just.
Yeah.
So you take that for free. I would say. Would you like to make me a roll? You'll be able to make the descent really quickly. It's just what's outside waiting.
What would it be? Prowess?
No, you're not resisting. So this would be something like survey. You could prowl. You could finesse.
I'm gonna prowl.
Prowl. Oh, okay, so you're looking to like disappear. So once you're into this, this building around the side, it kind of leads into a narrower side alley.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so you're so blue coats. So I'm going to do a 4-piece clock for a blue coat search. They see you, and fortunately, with your shot, you've essentially disrupted the system of lighting. Everything in this north of that light that you shot out is now a little bit on the fritz. Some of them are glowing, some of them are very, very faintly. Others have gone out completely. Others are kind of fluctuating and growing really bright, and then going minimizing back down to almost completely out. So the bluecoats are searching. Hestia, in the carriage, which the coachman is desperately trying to get under control. You hear the horses outside both braying, kicking up, and one of them is still bucking like crazy.
Yeah, I don my fine Eruvian shadow cloak. It is wine-colored, just a beautiful, beautiful garment in general, and tuck the painting underneath my arm, and open the door and just kind of what is that? What is it? Tuck and roll.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And that's a prowl.
That would work. Yeah, if you want to jump out and sort of literally the kind of like roll, stand up, and just walk along like you're at the moment unknown to you, it would be blending in with the crowd, and you just start running.
All right, fantastic. Risky standard.
I'm gonna say, this one you're jumping out the back of a very clearly locked wagon with a. I would say you can do it with the shadow cloak. You can do it at +1, but it is desperate as well.
All right, I'll take that.
The standard effects, yeah.
Okay, so extra die, is that what I heard?
Yeah, for the cloak, yeah.
All right, here we go. That's a crit!
The first crit. As the cart is thrown up again, you literally find yourself kind of running up, and as it reaches the apex of as it's jolted upwards, you jump out of the back, landing very, very kind of neatly and succinctly on the ground, whereupon you sort of find yourself just kind of standing up. You're able to like duck inside one person, around another, and you literally just cut line of sight between you and a blue coat who just swings around as this thing comes back down and crashes back into the road again. And with that as well, with the jolt, the door just slams shut on that crit.
Yeah, Hestia makes small talk with whoever she lands next to.
It's actually I'll say on the back of that crit. It's actually like it's this very, very well dressed, evidently moneyed but not aristocracy, man with a sort of mutton chop style moustache kind of pulls you in. He's like, "There's shots being fired. You expect this kind of thing in Crowsfoot? Not here." And he sort of pulls you into this alleyway. So didn't you hear anything? There was gunshots, and they hit the. He sort of looks around where the still smouldering electroplasm is still crackling in the streets. Hestia. Sorry,
go ahead.
I'll go. Sorry, Lottie. Hestia. Lottie. Hestia. Right. Lottie, landing on the street below. You are aware of. You can see the commotion as the coachman manages to recontrol the horses, stops the other one braying, kind of pulling it down with the reins, and he, with a crack of the with an absolute crack, gets them taking off down the street at a quick canter. These horses, as eager as anyone else to get out of the scene. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna circle back to where Hestia and I shall meet, and be careful to stay in the crowd, so it will be more difficult for the blue coat to spot me.
Absolutely. I will say, if you want, you can do a final group action to make good your escape. The two of you, as you see Hestia kind of like politely kind of nodding and engaging in conversation with a man who's lost all the colour from his face, and is now dabbing his brow with a slightly damp handkerchief at this point. Oh my, oh my, oh my. Group action, you both roll the same skill and you take the highest result, but whoever's leading risks taking 1 stress for every failed roll. So decide on what you want.
Oh, what are we rolling?
Up to you. I mean, you could go with Sway to go through pass unseen. You could go with Prowl to go unnoticed. Survey to kind of see the road ahead, so on and so forth.
How much stress do you have there, Lottie?
4.
All right.
You're only gonna get a maximum of 2.
Okay. All right. Shall I lead or you?
But how much do you have stress?
I'm 5, but I don't mind leading.
I'm gonna lead. Which skills do you think we should use?
Entirely up to you. You both use the same skill, but you take the highest result for both of you.
Okay.
It sounds like a Prowl to me.
Yeah, me too.
All right.
Well, you roll that, be Prowl.
All right. 1, 2, 3, go.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3, go.
No failures. Oh boy.
I saw that too and got worried.
Yeah.
Me too.
All in all, I think this went well. This went better than we had feared, worse than we had hoped, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Definitely better than session 0.
All of us are probably sitting at what? At least 4 stress?
5.
3. I'm sitting at 6. I burned a lot of stress this section.
Apologies. Success with a complication as the two of you make your way down south, disappearing further into Night Market before making your way east and back once again into Crowsfoot. And we shall call the score there.
You have just finished listening to this week's episode of Blades in the Dark, What Happens in the Dusk, part of the Domain Gaming, written and told by Wyverian and Livespark. A special thanks to you, the listener, and if you wish to continue supporting us, subscribe, like, and share. As always, comments are welcome. Until the next chapter, remember the first rule of a con. Offer them everything for nothing, and give them nothing for everything.